Hey, what's up you money makers, what's up you ILUS army, and what's up you ILUS family. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about one of the announcement that ILUS just released in the press release before 19 minutes. Take a look right here. I reviewed this particular PR and I wanted to share this information with you. ILUS announces the first US acquisition which has several executive distribution contracts for major global brands in place and will provide the established distribution channel for existing and new ILUS products within the United States. So which is once again pretty massive, very strategic news that we have been waiting for last couple of days. This is in regards to what ILUS shared yesterday, last night after the market closed. Although we could not get all the moving parts in place before the market closed, we are pleased to let you know that we managed to do so in last few minutes, and we'll provide an PR update pre-market tomorrow. They were a little bit late, and thanks for your patience. Acquisition and USA. Now, so this stand yesterday we talked about that this has to do with the acquisition. This has to do with something within the United States, and this is 100% true. Now, if you take a look at ILUS right now, it's 42 cents. If you take a look, it went all the way high up to 48 cents. So we did make a high today, but we were expecting some of the news from ILUS and it went down. So take a look, we were expecting a news, nothing came. It was 49 cents in pre-market. I looked at it, went down around 45 cents, went back up because there was a buying happening, and then it dropped back as you see right here, 38 cents, because we were expecting some news. I just wanted to get this video out as soon as possible so you can figure out why there was a dip and why it came back up and why it can potentially go higher than 43 cents today. So let's take a look. As we get more news spread out, this will be getting a ton of momentum. So click on the like button if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and you can turn on the notification bell because I have been sharing a ton of time sensitive updates the way you see right now. I want to help you out with the time sensitive updates because knowledge is power and information is the key. You want to get it right at the right time, and you want to use that in your best advantage. Let's move on to the next into the press release, right into it. Take a look. ILUS International announces its US firefighting equipment distribution rollout. Take a look. This is impressive. The one thing that I wanted to focus and I want to share with you is right here that ILUS has shared that it is entering into the US market, and right here. So ILUS has spoken in previous press release of its strategy for entering the US market with the triple pronged objective of acquiring routes to make the market for its existing product, acquiring the market knowledge and acquiring manufacturing capabilities. Now this is massive because they're getting into the United States. That means ton of more revenue. Think about ILUS. What ILUS does as a company is merger and acquisition. So they acquire a well-established company, and there's a $3 million deal right now, and we'll talk about that in further detail and why it can accelerate the revenue and the distribution of ILUS. Let's take a look right here. So what ILUS says, as part of the strategy and fulfillment for ILUS is currently working on acquisition in US and Europe. The company can announce that it has officially agreed to terms to purchase the profitable US-based firefighting equipment distributor, which holds multiple exclusive distribution contracts for the sales and servicing some of the world's largest firefighting equipment brands, and has a current annual turnover of $3 million. So this has been acquired by ILUS, which means they'll be using to scale this particular distribution or distributor company, and they'll be also adding more revenue into the book of business for ILUS. The seller has requested all the employees formally notified. This is not super important for the stockholders, but let's take a look. The press release will be, approvals are in place, and this is the press release. During third quarter 2021, ILUS has been working on the completion of 4 acquisitions in the United States, which is massive. 3 acquisitions in United States means a ton of revenue, because you can imagine the biggest market in terms of the global market will be in United States, North America, and they have more plans outside of North America as well, especially in Europe, and they'll be fulfilling all those acquisition deals as well. So acquisition in the United States along with the additional acquisition targets in Europe and Middle East. Whilst the US and European acquisition remain close in completion, ILUS determined that it was a priority to enter into the US market by acquiring established distribution model for its existing products combined with the existing distribution industry, leading fire and rescue products, and they have done it. ILUS officially entering the US market by acquiring the leading US distribution of firefighting equipment as well as the equipment for the police and EMS personnel. The acquisition is a well-known industry name and that has been operating nearly 20 years. So they're buying, once again, they're focusing a lot more on well-established companies that are profitable. They can add them into the book of business. They can pay for them upfront. They can scale them and they can make, then they can be. ILUS's book of business and their balance sheet can be more and more and more profitable, and which is the whole game that ILUS is trying to accomplish. It holds numerous exclusive distribution contracts. This particular company that ILUS acquired on for its local state and neighboring state, as well as several nationwide distribution contracts. The company has exclusive distribution contracts in place for the world's largest hydraulic rescue equipment brand, one of the world's largest brand of rescue tool. Furthermore, the company's nationwide distribution rights include also extend well beyond the following: the world's leading brand for firefighting nozzles, monitors, along the leading global market, so on and so forth. Not only that, in addition to its 6,000 square feet distribution warehouse, the company has also equipment servicing this division's 4 fully equipped demonstration vehicles and 2 mobile trailers that ILUS also will be acquiring. Immediate plan for the acquisition by ILUS include new distribution warehouse, which will be in the region of 15,000 square feet. So think about it, how massive this could be, and include a larger showroom and vehicle yard. ILUS spoken about its objective and strategy to entering within the United States. We already talked about that. So they're working on pretty closely and they're delivering on what they mentioned to us. Yes, there are a little bit of delay, and I understand why the delay is and why there could be tons of moving pieces and they can't really release some of the information because of the policy, privacy, rules and regulations. Through upcoming acquisitions, let's take a look, which are already underway in the US. So there is more to go. So it's not this is the beginning of the new business strategy or the acquisition strategy in the United States. So this is not the end, this is the first one. We'll have multiple more coming in this year and early next year as well. And what they're trying to do is for the United States, this will be manufactured and assembled in the United States for the distribution through the acquisition, in addition to the distribution fire buck product across the United States. This acquisition is already well established for the sales, training, so on and so forth. So once again, this is the whole deal. They have $3 million worth of revenue. I'll do this video in more detail when I get enough time, but I just wanted to get back to you with the juicy information that I wanted to share with you, and we have been waiting for a while. Let's take a look at how the ILUS is the price action is. Take a look, ILUS is getting back up 44 cents. We saw 38 cents right here. And news was released before 15-20 minutes more or less. It will be spreaded widely. If you haven't clicked on the like button, click on the like button, subscribe to my channel. This is super important. If you take a look at the 48 cents and 38 cents, it's a massive 10-cent spike, and 10 cents on a 40 cents is 25% return on the investment. If someone does just the swing trade, that's going to be super profitable. If you take a look at the ILUS's Twitter, it has been growing fast. 12,400 followers. ILUS has been keeping us posted. Yesterday they said yes, they will be sharing this information. On Monday they couldn't do it. They also shared that okay, they're running a little bit late and that will be in pre-market. They didn't do it in the pre-market, but a little bit late. But that happened. So that's massive. That's super important. That suggests the power of social media that ILUS acknowledges as well. And this is something that they have been tagging us, the hashtag, and that was that was a great pointer to me especially. And we talked about this as well, that they're talking about some of the acquisition, something related to United States, and this is for ILUS. So they're adding one more company, one more distribution channel into their portfolio, which is huge. And on the top of that, we also know that ILUS is working on current European acquisition, which is in the process of completing, which is going to be huge as well, because both United States and European market and now Middle East, all three markets are super strategic in terms of the getting more and more revenue to get the foot in the door in each of the region and then expand the business. And there is a ton of potential because they can have have multiple corp to corp relationships. As we mentioned, they have one of the best water mist technology that uses less water. It is more effective. That means the water that is damaging your property in case of fire is a lot less. If you know that whenever there is fire, yes, there is a damage through the fire as well, but there is more damage through the water if there is heavy water usage. And you really have to sort of work on it, how you can use less water. At the same time, you can take care of the fire fast enough. And this is the whole technology that they're coming up with the Firebug fire mist technology that we talked about. In terms of the short sells, let's take a look what happened yesterday. The short sell went up 46.61 because there were some hiccups, quite honestly, around the PR and some expectation from the market and investors in terms of when they're going to release the news, because we were expecting, everyone was expecting the news on Monday, didn't happen. Then they said Tuesday, didn't happen as well in the pre-market. So there is a little bit of a hiccup. I'm not going to not acknowledge, right? So 2 negative makes 1 positive. So I'm not going to not acknowledge. That means I'm going to acknowledge that there was a bit of a hiccup that definitely impacted the price point, and people were expecting, they were super bullish. If this happened, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern, before the market opened, this would have crossed 50 cents, quite honestly, that I've been talking about lately. Now, looking further into their volume, their volume is super healthy as well. If you take a look right now, today's volume is well beyond tomorrow's volume, well beyond tomorrow's volume. Today's volume is well beyond yesterday's volume. 36 million, now we are at 38 million. Pretty massive, but we saw a lower low. That's not a great sign in my opinion, because we were running in the positive direction. We're expecting some of the news, didn't happen. That's okay. We are back on track. We have more volume than yesterday. My hope is my hunch is this might be a lot more short volume because there was no news. And the way you saw the drop right here, this must be some sort of short volume that made the stock go from 46 cents, boom, right into 38 cents, which was 8-9 cents. So close to more than 20% drop just in a quick second. So this could happen. Once again, this is a penny stock. You cannot really expect things will work out always in the positive direction. High risk, high reward. Do not invest your entire portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purpose only. Click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Happy investing and happy Tuesday.